Warning: some content and language in this podcast may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Thank you for tuning in to the Tuddies and Buddies show, a sports podcast hosted by the Daily Double Down Network. My name's Cody. I will be one of your hosts. Joined with me today is the other host of the show.
Hey y'all, Nathaniel, back at it.
So today we're going to be previewing the Super Bowl, right?
Correct, yeah.
What else are we talking about?
Going to be looking at some off-season moves. Might get into our teams, but definitely going to look at some off-season moves and some draft topics.
Alrighty. So, you want to start off with the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that Super Bowl matchup.
Alright, so we'll send you guys right over to the hot spot, and then we'll be right back. Welcome to the Hot Spot, the weekly segment where we update you on some of the biggest headlines in sports. Today we're going to be discussing a little bit of stuff that's been going on in the NBA, alright? So I just kind of want to go over some of the bigger injuries real quick. So Lonzo Ball playing for the Chicago Bulls. I'm not exactly sure what he's out with, but I do know that he is not expected to return until at least April 1st. So you can be looking at the productivity of the Bulls being pretty down up until close to playoff season. My opinion, Lonzo Ball is a great handler of the ball. He knows how to pass it very, very well. Without him on the court, you're going to see a lot less chemistry throughout the team. And it's just you're not going to see nearly as many full court presses, and you're not going to see nearly as much hustle out there, as I would say. I mean, of course, they have Alex Caruso, but Lonzo really pushes it. Alex Caruso's, he's getting up there in age, man. But next, Luka Doncic for the Dallas Mavs is going to be out for the majority of this week. He is not expected to return until after February 10th with a heel injury of some sort. He was just taken out last night, just hurt last night. And it looks like he'll be back at the end of the week, so it doesn't look anything too serious. But we should keep an eye on it, make sure he's not too sore coming back at the end of the week. Now, here's a bigger one. It's not nearly as long as Lonzo's, but Steph Curry is out with a lower leg injury. Not too sure about what happened exactly, but they don't expect him to return until February 28th. So, over this month, I have a feeling that we could see, the Golden State Warriors start to decline, and, they could possibly slip out of the playoffs, in my personal opinion. Which brings me to the next segment of the hotspot. I want to talk about some sleeper picks for the playoffs. I just have one, so I'm just going to tell you what team I think will sneak into the playoffs and what team they're going to knock off to get in there. So for the East, I think the Magic are going to be able to just barely nudge their way in there this year. I don't think they're going to go very far, but I think they'll be able to make it, and I think they're going to knock out the Pacers. I don't think the Pacers are really that good this year. Tyrese Halliburton, Jordan Clarkson, I want to say. It's not a very good squad. But they are the Pacers. Somehow they usually end up getting into the playoffs. Ridiculous. And as for the West, I did have the Blazers taking out the Jazz, but now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I think it could very possibly the Blazers and the Jazz make it, and Golden State might actually slip out. Like I said, we really just have to pay attention to this Curry injury, see how he recovers, see how he comes back. If he comes back strong, I'm not too worried about it. If he comes back and they really limit his minutes, then I think Golden State's going to have some major issues, and I think that they could possibly get pushed out of playoff contention again. Now, to close off the hotspot, I just want to talk about a couple, just one trade move. The biggest one right before the deadline, which is later this week on the 9th, just 2 days away, or just tomorrow, actually. we will have the trade deadline. No more trades will be allowed going into All-Star season. We'll have All-Star weekend. We'll come back. Everything will be great, and we'll head headstrong into the playoffs. And I think the Mavs did great. Okay, now everyone's going to be looking at me like, you gave up so much for Kyrie Irving. Why would you do that? Now, Luka is good. Luka's good. Like, Luka's LeBron James level good. He's insane. Like, he may be the best basketball player in the league right now. And may have been. You know, we saw him in the bubble. He performed great there. He came out of the bubble. He performed great there. And he's just all around dominant. He's one of the only players to have a 60-20-10 stat line. He is the only player to have a 60-20-10 stat line. Insanity. But, you know, Spencer Dinwiddie gets to go back to the Nets, and they're sending Dorian Finney-Smith with him. Personally, yeah, send Dinwiddie back. That's fine. Keep Finney-Smith. I love Finney-Smith and Luka. Their chemistry is great. Should have kept him. But honestly, I didn't see Kyrie getting dealt anywhere unless they were going to get a package combo where they were going to get a lot out of Kyrie. To me personally, I think the Mavs paid too much for him. I think he's great, and I think the Mavs this could push the Mavs to be like the 2 or even the 3 or maybe even the 2 seed. I don't think they will be able to push the Nuggets out of that 1 seed. The Nuggets are just dominating this year. But something I want you guys to keep your eye on, this may happen before the release of the podcast, but I would say keep your eye on Kevin Durant being dealt to the Phoenix Suns. Think draft package. Like, they're just going to give him a pick package for KD, and then the Nets will just be like, all right, we're in rebuild mode now. This is official. This is what's going on. Rebuild. And just go from there. Honestly, I never thought the Nets had a shot, even with the squad they were putting together. Kyrie and KD were never going to click properly, especially with Harden. They all like to have the ball way too often and way too much. But I think that's going to bring it to the close for our hot spot. Like I said, be on the lookout for that Kevin Durant trade to the Suns over the next day or two. And also, be on the lookout for the Mavs to start climbing. So, if you are looking at fantasy scores, I would say pick up Spencer Dinwiddie or Finney-Smith. If he's not on your roster, get him on your roster. Because they are going to be incredibly productive in Brooklyn. If Brooklyn's going to keep up at all, which I don't think they're just going to completely fall off, even if they do trade KD. But if they don't, definitely pick up Finney-Smith. Definitely pick him up. Great wing shooter. Just absolute stud. So, that's my pick for the week. And this was the hot spot. But with that, we will now get into the main segment of the show. Alrighty, so we're into our main segment of the day. First off, I think we're going to start talking about the Super Bowl. So, you want to start with, like, overall predictions or what?
Overall predictions? Eagles are going to win. I'm not going to follow the script that was posted. I'm not
37-34.
I'm not following it as much as I want to try that. I'm going to probably go more like 27, 17, 20. Eagles winning. I feel like the Eagles' defense is just going to pull something out their ass and win.
So, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into your hot take that you want to talk about. But due to that, I think the Chiefs pull it off 31-28.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it happening, but like I said, I think the Eagles' defense is going to pressure Mahomes. We don't know how well he's going to play. I mean, 100% or not.
I think it's going to come down to 2-minute drill, and Patty Mahomes is going to drive down the field for a tutty.
And I would see it the other way around if they have a 2-minute drill. The Eagles' defense, pass rush is just going to get to him. Bad throw or two. I mean, James Bradbury and Darius Slay, big play Slay.
Yeah, I mean, you
there.
have really hard ways to get the ball to your receivers.
Yeah.
And not to mention, what's his face is out?
You got Hardman, I believe, is going to be out. Darius.
Yeah, from the Giants.
Yeah, he is questionable right now. I mean, you have Sky Moore, a rookie. I mean, electric player, but I mean, rookie. There you had the guy out of Pennsylvania, Quaker, whatever, Watson.
Justin Watson.
I mean,
he's got a couple tutties. He's only one behind Juju.
That's true, and I mean, Juju, I think, is dealing with an injury as well. I mean,
it seems like he's been dealing with questionability like entire season. Like every week, it's like he's questionable to play.
Yeah, I mean, I realized that in fantasy. I mean, Juju was kind of killing me. I had him on the roster for like 6 weeks, and I dropped him for that.
Well, when Juju starts getting double teamed, I've said this for years, when Juju starts getting double teamed, he's going to get hurt, his rating is going to go way down, and he's just going to make everyone else look really fucking good.
That's
fair. Which is my theory as why Tony is actually successful over there on that squad, is just because of how dog shit Juju is.
I mean, yeah, there's just not much to say with Juju. I mean, he's aight.
So, passing game. Who do you think is going to control the passing game?
See, this thing is, I don't know how well the passing game's going to go. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is definitely going to get his yards. He's going to get his plays, but that pass rush still. I mean, the Eagles led the league in pass rush. They have a great rotation of guys there. Corners are going to buckle somebody down. I mean, the safeties are the only issue with me, because, I mean, they have strong safety in Chauncey, but, I mean, he's more of a box safety, kind of plays a hybrid linebacker safety type of role. I mean, if you can get to where the safeties have to make a play, I think Patrick can do something.
Yeah. I mean, I think Patrick could go deep, but, I mean, I don't see anyone except for MVS getting open deep.
That or it's like an unscripted play. Patty kind of rolls out. I mean, but that's dependent on the ankle. I mean, he's got
2 weeks to recover.
I mean, it's more like 3 weeks. I mean, because that happened in the divisional.
So, did kind of tweak it during the game in the championship.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still 2 weeks of recovery. I know a high ankle sprain's kind of hard for players to come back from, but if he can get a little mobility there, extend plays just enough, he would definitely give the Eagles a run for their money on those like unscripted plays.
Yeah. So when I'm thinking about like the passing game, I just take a look at dual threats. The Eagles have a healthy dual threat between Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, which is saucy, to say the least. And you have Travis and a questionable Tony and a questionable Juju.
We got to consider the running back coming in for Kansas City, Isaiah Pacheco or whatever.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I think he had 9 receiving touchdowns, second behind Kelsey. I mean, he's going to be a threat you have to watch out for, but I'm not sure how they're going to put him into the passing game because, I mean, he's probably going to be the one that decides it, either Kelsey or Pacheco, because with that pass rush, you got to do short throws, quick stuff to try to get him off balance, get him tired out.
I think we'll see a lot of screens from Pacheco, or just dumping it to him, because I feel like they're going to run with just 2 wideouts a lot and just put Travis and Juju out there and then just throw one of their tight ends on the line, act like it's a run play, send them deep, and dump it to Pacheco. And I honestly think that would work a lot better than some of the out there ideas that Andy Reid throws.
Yeah, I mean, that would work. I mean, you're going to see probably tight end screens, running back screens, short, probably crossers, stuff like that. I mean, or you're just going to have Travis Kelce and Patty just do their magic where he just 5-yard hitch turns into a 30-yard play. And
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Love it or hate it, I mean, got to respect that play.
I mean, so I feel like sometimes Andy Reid's just like, hey, I just want everyone to block and just let Patty and Travis run around the field until one of them can figure out how to get it to him.
Yeah, I mean, that's how one of the touchdowns against the Bengals was. Just Patty's running and just Travis just knows exactly. He's just a turnaround right there, bodies out
Yeah.
Or finds a soft spot in the zone, I think, and touchdown, essentially.
Exactly. It was the nicest tutty of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
Besides maybe Jalen Hurts' rushing tutty. That was pretty sick. He broke a few tackles on that.
see, I didn't really get a chance to watch that Eagles-Niners game.
Ooh.
So, I saw the fight between Trent Williams and whoever. That was
Dude, that
saucy.
was... Okay, that wasn't even a fight. That was Trent Williams just fucking your shit up.
Yeah, because I was trying to watch the replay in the restaurant, and all I see is Trent Williams grab the man's face mask, throw him down. I'm like, that's a man who's lost his will to play right now.
Well, I mean, yeah, at that point, there's, 4 minutes left in the game. Brock Purdy went 3 for 3 and then tore his LCL.
But he's only a player in NFC Championship history to be 100% completion percentage, with a minimum of 4 passes, 4 for 4.
Did he really go 4 for 4?
4 for 4 for, I think, 28 yards.
Oh my god.
Hey, absolute baller, but...
Dude, Brock Purdy is him.
I will say Brock Purdy, we're getting into like an offseason move, I think, for the Niners, but Brock Purdy is going to be the starting quarterback unless Trey Lance shows something extremely special this offseason.
Okay, I think we'll talk about that later because
I
I want to get into that because their whole offensive scheme's like perfect for Trey Lance.
Absolutely.
But so as far as defense goes, who do you think's going to be the most dominant? I don't even need to ask you that.
You don't. The Eagles are going to be the dominant defense. The offense is going to do just enough for the Eagles, I think. Jalen Hurts will have just enough explosive plays to put the Eagles over the top. I mean, dual threat quarterback. You got Miles Sanders and
Jesus Christ, yeah, Miles Sanders.
they have another running back.
I'm not too sure who the other running back is.
Who's the other Eagles back? That's a bother.
I think one of the best things about the Eagles, especially their defense, is that defensive line.
That is one thing Howie Roseman did really good. He drafts defensive linemen, and he keeps drafting them.
Yeah, and I think, dude, defensive linemen, it's kind of like one of the better positions, and like the players that we see excel in the league are defensive linemen right now. Like, you're looking at all the quarterbacks coming into the league.
Yeah.
What? Trevor Lawrence? Dog shit.
Oh, Trevor's not dog shit. This was his best year, and he played
2 seasons or third. Is this his 3rd year now?
Third? Oh, fuck if I know this. Trevor Lawrence feel like he's been in the league forever at this point already.
Yeah, dude. This is his 2nd year because his first year was with Urban Meyer.
Yeah, what a fun day.
Oh my god.
When Urban Meyer is your head coach.
Yeah, you have no idea. He might finger you in the locker room.
Well, I'll be prepared for that one when it comes, I guess.
Dude, you'd be like, oh, Urban.
Hey, I'll get some playing time then. I better get some playing time.
You better get some playing time.
I don't care if that's on the punt team or kickoff team. I better get some playing time then.
I don't know. They probably make you receive the punts.
That's fine with me.
That's I would hate to receive punts.
Look, if that's the way I get on the field, I get on the field. Like Taysom Hill, bro.
Yeah.
He's a football player. Just throw him on the field. That's all he cares about.
Literally, just throw him on the field and he will do anything.
Yeah.
I want to talk more about that. But I think that's all we really have for the Super Bowl, unless there's anything else you want to... Oh, do you want to give your hot take for who should be in the Super Bowl?
I will give the hot take in just 1 second on that.
All right.
Eagles, offensive line will control the game. That's what's going to win.
True.
Offensive, defensive line control the game. Like I said, Eagles, big run plays. I don't think passing game's going to be extravagant. I think, Jalen Hurts, 220 yards, touchdown maybe. But he's going to run the ball like...
I think Chris Jones is going to give Kelsey a hard time. My take on it is only because Kelsey's playing against his freaking brother. They literally, like, their entire podcast this past week was about how hyped they were to play against each other in the Super Bowl. They're both going to be so distracted. Chris Jones is... You saw the Ezekiel Elliott clip, right?
Which is...
Where Ezekiel Elliott snaps the ball on that really weird...
Oh, that one. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
Chris Jones is going to do that to Jason Kelsey at one point in the game. Watch.
He might do that one time, but that Eagles offensive line will control.
They should let Travis line up against Jason for the first snap of the game.
If the game is lopsided one way, I feel like they would do that. The Kelsey brothers would be like, Coach, Put me in.
Well, actually, I think they would do it for the think about the taglines you've seen for this Super Bowl. It is called the Kelsey Bowl.
Yeah, that they would sell so well doing
And the
that.
tickets are ridiculous this year.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna look at Super Bowl tickets. Don't even tell me those.
I think the minimum's like 17.
Yeah, I don't I don't want to know that one.
Yeah. But you want to give your hot take and then we can go into our next segment?
Yeah. Bengals should be in the Super Bowl right now. The Chiefs, good. Played the great game. But the refs helped them. Not gonna lie on that fact. Besides that, I got another one. Patty Mahomes win the Super Bowl. In the consideration for greatest player of all time already.
If he wins the Super Bowl?
If he wins the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, it would be like Eli Manning beating Tom Brady.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been to 3 Super Bowls out of his first 5 years.
Yeah.
He's been to a championship game, every AFC championship game every year of his career so far.
Yeah.
He wins this, he's going to be the best statistical player, passing touchdowns and all that by the end of his career if he plays long enough. He will break all those records. He will be considered the greatest of all time, or at least the greatest of all time of our generation.
He definitely is. Like, I think it's a lot like the Michael Jordan, LeBron James debate. Yeah. Basketball changed so much.
For
like,
sure.
yeah, they were similar in Jordan's end years and LeBron's beginning years, but LeBron's been in the league, 20 some odd years now?
Yeah,
like 20, 21?
Yeah, catching up somewhere in there, yeah.
And, like, Jordan left the league 20 years ago?
Yeah, I mean...
Like, 2003?
Yeah, 2003 with the Wizards, and then he also took the 3-year break from playing.
Yeah, and he had the 3-year break. So I'm just saying, if Jordan played his entire career out without that 3-year break, he easily would have just he would have been done before 2000s. He would have been 3 years done before LeBron even came into the league. It's really a wild question. Completely different era of basketball,
For sure.
completely different play style. Now, the only thing that I have a problem with is, we would have to see a major shift in the next couple of years to say Patty Mahomes is the greatest of his generation.
I mean, that's what's to come. I mean, he has the accolade to go with it already. I would like to see him add more onto it. I mean, to compare it with Brady, 'cause, I mean, we can't argue that Brady isn't the greatest of all time. He is.
Yeah, I mean, who's better than Brady? Marino? Exactly. Elway? No.
I mean, because no one comes close to Brady in that debate, football-wise.
Yeah, no,
Patty,
not at all.
Because he's 25, 26, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. He's young.
He has at least another 10 years to play, if not longer, because, I mean, quarterbacks are being protected at an all-time high.
Incredibly protected.
The passing offenses, I'm not good at football anymore, but I could probably play decent quarterback position somewhere.
Yeah.
Anybody could go on the street if you know the offense enough, you can do it. Because Patty's just a more athletic, stronger arm Brady in my eyes.
So do you see Reed becoming the next Belichick then?
I don't think you can consider Reed a Belichick though. I don't think that's a thing that could.
Okay, why?
The way Belichick ran the Patriots.
You mean shady as shit?
We can say shady as shit, but the way he ran it, it's just, there's something about it. He could be neck and neck, but I don't ever think it's Andy Reid's going to be better than Belichick coaching-wise.
You know how you were saying Burrow has that violence that Brady has?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't, because the violence that Brady had was all Belichick talking through Brady. Look at how much of a pussy he became when he went to Tampa Bay.
But also, see how much of a little bitch Brady became.
Exactly. He was.
No, that's his way of acting up and being big and bad now. Was just slamming the fucking iPad on the ground, being "Why can't I run the ball?" or some shit
Because you're slow. You run like a 6'7" 40, bro.
But yeah, those are my 2 hot takes for right now. With Patty Mahomes, could be the greatest of all time if he wins, and the Bengals should be in the Super Bowl. The Bengals would get curb stomped, though. I promise you, they would get curb stomped by the Eagles.
You want to know my hot take from the championship games?
Hit me with it.
If Brock Purdy hadn't gotten hurt, the 49ers would have wiped the floor with
I
them.
disagree.
Wiped the floor with
Brock
the Eagles.
Purdy played absolute dog water, because what was it?
Wait, 100% completion? Doesn't even matter. He threw 4 passes, like 30 yards. That's like almost 9 yards a pass.
Yeah, but they couldn't run the ball. He was getting pressured every other play. I mean...
Yeah, but they were also beat up. Like, if you had a healthy 49ers versus a healthy Eagles with the same rosters that they had...
Eagles.
49ers. I mean, if you threw Trey Lance in there, the 49ers would have shit on them.
See, I don't know. I don't like what I see out of Trey Lance right now.
I'm a big fan. But I will talk about him more in the next segment. Alright, so we're back, and we're going to be talking about some of the off-season moves. So far the off-season, what has been your favorite move that you've seen?
The hiring of DeMarco Ryan for the Texans. Going to be a great move. Going to be a real good culture change. I'm going to say this. I'm afraid he might get fired after the first year, though, with their former history. Because they've hired...
Well, didn't they fire Tex Ryan immediately?
I think they fired Lovie Smith after his first year. I mean...
They've gone through like 3 head coaches in the past 3 years.
Yeah, I think DeMarco Ryan's going to be a good option, good choice for them to do that. But I'm afraid how long they're going to keep him. Because he's not going to be able to turn that franchise around in 1 year unless, I don't know, Bryce Young comes and helps.
You think they're going to take Bryce Young?
Yeah. For sure.
You think CJ Stroud's going before Bryce?
No.
I think they'll take Stroud over Bryce Young.
I do not see that. I see the Colts trading up probably for number 1. Right now. I think the Colts are going to trade up number 1. They're going to pick Will Levis up, which I hate Will Levis right now. Not a good quarterback. Promise you. On God, strike me dead if he plays better. I already say it.
I mean, I've only seen some clips from Will Levis. Didn't he play in the Senior Bowl, and that's why people are talking about him now?
No, he didn't. I don't think he played. He played... Are you talking about Max Duggan, maybe?
Yeah, Max Duggan.
Yeah, no, he's dog water, too. Complete dog water. I'm sorry.
I mean, the QB draft class is not very good. At all.
There's some potential. I don't see it in Will Levis. Like, Bryce Young, all more power to him. He's probably the best quarterback prospect in, the last year or two. CJ Stroud...
Definitely better than Trevor Lawrence.
CJ Stroud, I like all the athletic tools. I liked how he performed against Georgia. He would be my number 2 QB.
Do you think he'll perform better than Justin Fields?
I think so, actually. I think he has a better understanding of the passing game, a little more decisiveness.
Just the way that I saw CJ Stroud throw this year, I thought he was... along with the decisiveness, I thought he actually made better decisions.
Yeah.
He just read the field a lot better. He felt more comfortable in the pocket than Justin Fields. He's a mobile quarterback, but it felt like Justin Fields was, in the NFL at least, scrambles every single play.
I mean, first read's not there, he runs. And if the Bears want to be a better team, he's going to have to be able to look for that second, third, fourth option, but also have that timer in his head, be like, it's 4 or 5 seconds. I might want to start thinking about my exit lanes in case.
Yeah.
Type of thing, which I think CJ Stroud showed that he's an excellent athlete, especially in the Georgia game. He ran the ball wonderfully. Showed something that a lot of us haven't seen the season for him.
Yeah, me personally, what he did in that game, if they didn't miss that field goal, they would have won.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That game solidified him as my number 2. I don't see him being the number 1 quarterback. Bryce Young just is a very polished quarterback coming into the draft.
But CJ, when we're looking at it, we're looking at all these quarterbacks. Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes to some extent, Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson. All these quarterbacks are mobile fucking quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, not mobile. Derek Carr, not very mobile. Justin Herbert,
Yeah, I mean, at this point, as a quarterback, you have to have a little mobility or you just don't really fit in the league at this point.
Yeah.
Which is funny enough. One of my favorite quarterbacks coming out, I think, is either going to be Tanner McKee. whoever the Stanford quarterback is coming out. Excellent pocket passer. Decent. I can't say excellent. Decent pocket passer. Shows the passing game. He's like a Tom Brady athlete. He's not athletic.
All right, best quarterback, Spencer Rattler.
In this year's draft? Or just NCAA football?
NCAA, because he'll get. I don't think he'll get drafted this year.
Spencer Rattler.
He needs another year to develop and to realize, hey, I need to breathe.
I say maybe top 5, but I don't know if he's number 1. Because, like, Jaden Daniels from LSU, I feel like if you get a little bit more of a passing game going with him, I think he's a deadly quarterback. And then you have...
Well, have you seen his high school tape?
I have not, but I would assume it's nasty.
It's nasty. Like, deep bombs. Like, just, 60, 70-yard bombs. I saw, 6 of them on his highlight tape. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. How does your arm do that in high school?
Dude, I saw Peyton Manning's son throw a fucking 30-yard bomb in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, Arch Manning?
No. I'd Peyton Manning's 11-year-old son throws a 30-yard bomb to Justin Jefferson.
What?
Yes. The Manning family, I promise you, they're the kings of fucking football right now.
Dude, they probably inject steroids into their dicks. Right, in the middle of, fucking, they're like, ugh!
Right in the middle, damn.
They're like, yeah, boost the sperm.
Yeah, bro, how? Dude, they come up with some athletes, like Archie Manning,
he's gonna bust.
Archie, bro, that's a Saint. He played for the Saints in the 70s.
I'm talking about Arch.
Yeah.
He's gonna bust.
I want to see him play in Texas first. I'm not going to make any of those calls yet.
You want to see him play in Texas first?
I want to see him. I don't know how he's going to work out, but I mean...
Well, he's been conditioned to play quarterback for the past forever.
Yeah. I'll give him time. I'm not going to call him anything yet. Things can change. But back onto our quarterbacks, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Coming into the NCAA, you also have the UNC quarterback.
I don't know. I haven't been keeping it with college ball.
The UNC quarterback, he's kind of nasty. He might be the best quarterback in the next year's draft class type of thing. Then you have CJ Williams from USC.
I have not seen much on CJ Williams, although I have seen him play. He's a baller.
If you follow a couple of different Saints pages, there's a C.J. Williams agenda where we get Jackson and Jobo Smith or whatever this year from Ohio State, and we pick C.J. Williams up next year as our quarterback. Have Chris Olave, Mike Thomas, Alvin Kamara, C.J.
You can't say Mike Thomas. He's dog shit now.
Or the UNC quarterbacks Drake Mays.
Okay, I've heard of him. I don't know if he's going to be anything really special though.
He's the number 2 quarterback for the 2024 draft, I guess.
Well, as of right now, but literally they're gonna play the next season, and you're gonna see a major shift in who the best quarterback is.
And then, like you said, you got Spencer Rattler, you got Jaden Daniels. A lot of good college quarterbacks. A lot of those guys gonna be ready for the draft next year. So next year's quarterback draft or quarterback class is gonna be a lot better than this year's. Because it's very top-heavy.
Yeah.
And really all I see, the 2 quarterbacks I would trust my money on would be C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. Will Levis is almost like a Josh Allen.
Who's that linebacker out of Bama?
Henry To'o, you mean him or Drew? No, not Drew. Will Anderson?
Yeah, Will Anderson.
Oh, dog. Absolute dog.
Exactly. I don't think we'll actually be able to, but I really want to see us try to trade up and grab him.
You're not. Impossible.
Or trade for him. I want him. Give me good linebacker. Sione Takitaki gets hurt every other day.
But he's also more of an edge back.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, if you want an edge threat who can kind of play a linebacker, yeah.
See, but here's the thing. You have another edge threat that's learning from Myles Garrett. You can throw in the linebacker position as well. Here's your thing. Number 1 pass defense this year.
Yeah, but I would rather say you guys get the linebacker out of Clemson, who's more of like a safety linebacker hybrid, like a Justin Simmons from Arizona. That, I think, would be a better option because he can give you a little bit of that blitzing ability, not a true edge rusher.
Yeah.
And then he's fast and agile, plays that like safety, but also is big enough to play a linebacker position. That would be a better option, especially for you guys.
Yeah.
And, because, I mean, this linebacker class, it's okay. Not great. And the two top guys, two completely different play styles. One's like that tweener safety linebacker, and the other one's like a downhill like blitzer and like run defender. So you gotta kind of pick your poison, which guy you want.
See, the only thing that I'm thinking about is I don't really want to see a hybrid player on our team. We have Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit, MJ Emerson, John Johnson. They've all been balling out this year.
Yeah.
Like, we need to get rid of, like, Greedy Williams.
I love me Greedy just because it's greedy. I'm gonna say that.
Greg Newsome's been a dog this year, too. Like,
out of Northwestern?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So, if you stop playing the Browns as a zone defense and you start playing them man up, like these cornerbacks and safeties are like literally that's their play style. Dude, all you got to do is beef up the defensive line. Like I'm saying this right now. Before the draft, the Browns need to trade their second round draft this year for Cam and a future fourth and maybe a fifth.
And see, as a Saints fan, I would take that 100%.
We need to do that. Then we need to trade Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Get him gone and get either MVS because he is he's going to be a free agent this year. So we need to go for MVS or we trade Kareem Hunt for someone like D-Hop or Brandon Cooks. D-Hop's got 2 years left on his contract.
I don't think Kareem's going to bring that type of value. You're going to have to give up a lot more than just Kareem.
I think Kareem to the Texans, I think they'll take that. Because if you look at Kareem, if he played the majority of the snaps, the way that he runs, he can still be a first back.
Yeah, but they have Dameon Pierce out of Florida. He's a dog.
Yeah, but Dameon Pierce is think about this. It would be the same move that the Browns made bringing Kareem Hunt to their team.
Yeah, but there's no need to get that. Because you already have your running back. You have bigger positional needs. Quarterback, offensive line, their defense, everything really on the defense. I mean...
See, but the only thing that I'm like if we try to go to the Texans and try to trade for Brandon Cooks, he's only a year younger than D-Hop.
Yeah, but they're two different players to play-wise. I mean,
they're two different players, but Brandon Cooks puts up similar numbers with Deshaun Watson. If not, some seasons he actually plays better than D-Hop with Deshaun Watson.
I mean, it's just something you kind of have to play out there. I mean, Brandon Cooks, I loved him as a Saints fan. I mean, he was more or less the deep threat because, he's fast, but not dangerously fast.
Yeah.
So,
But with Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara on your team, he would just, slip through. Just
that was the easy thing he had. And hopefully Mike Thomas comes back next season at this point.
Dog shit. I've been saying it for years. Dog shit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But hear me out on this, right? The Saints will actually pick up the Jason... Damn, what the fuck is this?
Stidham?
No, the Ohio State wide receiver, Jason something.
Oh, the white guy?
No, boy. He's a slot guy. It is Jason something Njigbo Smith?
I've not heard of him.
You should.
Dude, what did I tell you when we started talking about this? I have not kept
Jackson
up.
Smith and Jigba. Out of Ohio State.
What is it? They don't even have a speed for him?
Yeah, because they're going to update it when the draft comes, or the combine.
95 for 1595?
Yeah, dude, he's a good player.
So, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Where do you think Lamar goes? Do you think Lamar stays? Do you think Lamar goes? And
the Ravens franchise tag him and probably trade him. Because at this point, I feel like the Raven-Lamar relationship a little severed at this point.
I think the Jim Lamar relationship's a little severed.
Probably. I mean, at this point, you get rid of him to what's a quarterback needy team that would have a trade asset?
I mean,
because I think Aaron Rodgers to the Jets.
Do you think that Rodgers is going to the Jets?
Might be going to the Jets.
I think I think he might be packing up and going down to either Dallas or possibly Tampa.
Tampa would be a good option for him.
Yeah.
Dallas, they already have Dak. Jerry Jones ain't gonna get rid of his boy.
No, as a backup.
Oh, he's not gonna be a backup. Fuck that.
He's old, man.
That don't matter. Brady was old. He performed. Either Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets. Tampa's not a bad option, but I think the Jets, because they got Nathaniel Hackett as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
This is perfectly getting played out for Aaron Rodgers. Go to the Jets. You have
Sauce Gardner on the D.
The defense is stacked. I mean, offensively,
Bryce Hall.
I don't even know their wide receivers off the top of my head.
They had a couple good ones.
Because I feel like they had Mims. I feel like.
Yeah, they have Derek Mims. Is that his first name?
I don't think that's his first. Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. He's a good player.
He was a dog this year, bro.
Yeah, he's good.
Wow, Cox.
Take the L.
Shut up. Michael Carter as their running back. Yeah. They have Conklin. He's a stud at tight end. Corey Davis is a baller, too.
Oh, yeah. All right, so, Corey Davis. You have Garrett Wilson. Yeah, that's probably going to be some of the best weapons Aaron Rodgers has had in his career, excluding the Devontae Adams time. Because Devontae Adams, like number 2 wide receiver in the league. Can't really beat that unless they get that.
Denzel Mims. Oh, they also have Elijah Moore, bro.
Yeah, see, all right. That's a good, not a great, but a good balanced wide receiver.
Exactly.
Yeah. Give that to Rodgers, and then...
You think they win a chip with Rodgers?
I think they're competitive. Don't think they're going to win. Because, I mean, you have to get through the Bills still. You got to get through the Bengals and the AFC.
Dude, the Bills choke every year.
But not against divisional play. Divisional play, the Bills tend to, stomp them at this
point. What happened this past year? In the divisional round?
The Bengals
stomped the Bills.
Yeah, because the Bills didn't play good football.
Yeah, because they choke in the playoffs every year. It doesn't matter what round it is. Although, dude, I really want to see, just Allen and Mahomes just go at it in the championship every year. I
don't.
I would love to see that again. Josh Allen needs to win a chip, man.
He will. Eventually, I mean, all good quarterbacks like them, they usually get their due at some point, or at least get into the Super Bowl. Winning it's a different story. I mean,
yeah, I mean it's 2 quarterbacks make it every year. You got what, 3 quarterbacks per team, 32 teams. It's almost 100 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, plus any of the other guys who come on, like Joe Johnson for the Niners, picked up and got thrown into that shitty situation. I feel bad for him.
What do you think about PJ Walker?
He's fine. I mean,
he's not a good quarterback. I would not say that.
No, he'd do much better if he went back to the AFL or XFL or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, go there, play there, get a backup role for a team that has an injury-prone quarterback, or go back to Carolina or somebody, be a backup. You do good as a backup. You're fun to watch for a game or two, but then go sit back on the bench, please.
Yeah. What do you think's gonna happen with Sam Darnold?
He's done. Out of the Panthers. No. He's done, actually, yeah.
You think he's out of the league?
I don't think he's out of the league. He's just not going to be a starting quarterback.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't.
I think the Panthers, if a quarterback falls to them, they're getting a quarterback.
Don't they have, the 9th or 10th pick?
8th.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the 8th.
You think all the top 5 quarterbacks are going to get chewed up before 8?
I'm going to say this. Anthony Richardson out of Florida is probably going to go to the Panthers. He's the only guy I can see falling because he's a very raw talent. He's like Lamar Jackson athleticism without the elusiveness of Lamar Jackson, but with the fucking cannon of an arm. And throughout the season, this was his only starting season from the very first game, and he showed a lot of improvement from week 1 to the final week of the college football season.
Yeah.
Showed a lot of improvement, and if he can show that improvement for only 1 year of starting in college, with all the traits that you're looking for in the quarterback, I would pick him over Will Levis. So, because Will Levis just didn't have the production. He has the traits, and that's why everybody's super high on him. But, I mean...
We've seen what traits play out to. Like, Baker Mayfield had the traits of everything.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, I think, is a really solid quarterback, but we're seeing how it's playing out right now.
Yeah, and I mean, his... Not
Trevor Lawrence, Danny Dimes.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're not a direct comparison, but they're kind of comparing Will Levis to, like, a Josh Allen.
Oh.
But I don't see that because Josh Allen had more, I guess, accuracy over Will Levis with almost the same decision making. But then I hear some other guys talking about Will Levis. I mean, he had probably one of the worst offensive lines in Power 5 football. But if you're a good enough quarterback with athleticism, you make more plays, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, but all of your powerhouse football teams, LSU, Bama, Georgia, big offensive linemen.
Yeah, but even against like the smaller like FCS schools, he didn't have like the games you would expect out of a top 10 talent quarterback type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, because Hendon Hooker, who's like the 5th or 6th quarterback in this class ranking wise, did way better, but he's also 26. He'll be 26 and a half, 27 at the start of the NFL season.
God.
Like, he's very mediocre would be the great way to say it. I mean, he has some decision making, he has some athleticism, not very good pocket management.
That's what
very
I'm seeing,
stagnant.
Like, pocket management has been a big issue.
Yeah.
And like I was saying with Justin Fields, like it seems like a lot of these college football quarterbacks are coming in and they're like, oh, I have to be the next Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I have to scramble for a lot of yards. And what they're not realizing is their running backs right over there just dump it to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's an issue with the quarterbacks coming in, but I mean...
We talked about Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets, but I asked you where you think Lamar's ending up.
Lamar, that's a different story. I don't know where he would end up. I feel like it's going to be a sign and trade, though.
A sign and trade?
Yeah, somebody's going to sign, or the Ravens are going to do like a franchise tag and trade him away.
Yeah.
There's, like I said, I feel like there's a big enough rift between the Ravens and the Lamar at this point that he's not going to get the money that he wants from them. Because, I mean, he wants quarterback money, but is he really deserving of quarterback money? I mean...
So, I think there's a couple different options for him to land. I think Green Bay is a place where he could land.
I don't see Green Bay, as they have Jordan Love.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't know if, like, they're saying that, oh yeah, Jordan Love's good. He's good. I don't think he will be.
Like, people are...
As a starter?
I feel like the games, I think he played, like, 2 or 3 games this year, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a game this year, 2 or 3 last year, while Aaron was on his shoulder thing.
I see him getting at least a year or 2 in Green Bay. I mean, this is what they did with Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre sat behind Brett Favre. Let's just see how Jordan Love. Like, he has those traits. I mean, you got him at the tail end of the first round. At that point, I mean, you're taking a flyer on a quarterback anyways, because usually they're not great. I mean, yeah, you have your outliers, Russell Wilson, Brady, all those guys. But,
yeah.
I mean...
You don't usually get very many good quarterbacks after the first round.
Yeah, I mean, top 20 picks, if it's not quarterback there, you're kind of out of luck.
Yeah, pretty much. Shit, what was I about to say? Oh, yeah. I could also see Lamar going down to Tampa as well. Or I could see the Panthers trying to go for him.
The Panthers would be an intriguing option for me. Tampa, I'm going to say this, but I don't think Lamar could handle a Bruce Arian style offense.
Probably not. I don't think so either, but I think that could be a landing spot for him.
That could be a landing spot, but I just don't think Bruce Arian... Well, actually, no, it's Todd Bowles-led team at this point. I forgot.
Yeah.
But they're going to have those probably Bruce Arian-like scheme.
Yeah.
Even though they let go of Brian Leftwich, the offensive coordinator.
I didn't know they left.
They left Leftwich. He left. He actually might be looking at a job at Notre Dame as an offensive coordinator.
Oh, good.
So,
back to college.
Yeah, hey, Notre Dame, they still suck.
Notre Dame hasn't been good for what?
Ever.
They were good, like, in the 60s.
Yeah, forever ago when my fucking grandma was still alive type of shit.
Oh, alright, so are there any other moves you wanted to discuss about the offseason?
Let's see off the...
We didn't even talk about Sean Payton.
We didn't talk about the biggest... The thing I fucking wrote about was the Sean Payton trade.
Dude, I was reading your paper and editing it, like, fully today, like, right before I posted it, and I was like... I didn't read the sentence, beforehand, I just saw that you wrote something about Sean Payton, and I was like... He literally was just like... Yeah, so while I was writing this, Sean Payton got traded.
I was literally like... Because I started writing it the night before, and I was like... I had, like, school shit got in the way of that. And I was like... I started writing it, and I'm like... Check my phone, I was like... Sean Payton got traded? Oh, shit. And I'm over here thinking of all the possibilities. I'm literally typing while listening to a mock draft being played. I'm like, that's who the Saints gonna get? I mean, I got like...
They have their first round draft, and they're what, top 5?
No. We get the 49ers pick that the Broncos had. The Broncos gave Seattle their pick for Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah. So you have their first one via San Francisco.
Via San Francisco, via somebody else or something like that. Because this pick has like gone through like 3 people's different hands. Because I think it went from the Niners to Miami to the Denver to the Saints now.
Yeah, because Miami traded a first one for Bradley Chubb.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the Niners... I don't know what the Niners-Miami trade was. I don't know that one. Trey Lance, right? It was not the Trey Lance trade?
Yeah, because they traded Trey for Tua in the draft. Like, literally right after they drafted Tua, they drafted Trey, they traded him for Tua.
So, yeah, we have the 28th, 29th pick.
Dude, we don't have anything. I'm a Browns fan. He's a Saints fan because, like, if you guys hadn't picked up on it already, we have the 42nd pick.
Yeah.
So, dude, that's why I'm saying just trade it for Cam Jordan.
Yeah, I mean...
Send Kareem Hunt bye-bye. I mean, we have Felton back there. He's a dog. Dearness Johnson, dog. Like, when Kareem Hunt and Chubb were out, dude, Dearness Johnson had, like, a 130-yard game.
Yeah.
So, he can rush for a whole game, too.
For sure.
So, like, get rid of Hunt, bring in Jordan, get us someone fast, maybe an MVS or, I don't know, go for, like, Gabriel Davis.
I mean, there's some guys in the draft who you can pick up, I mean.
Yeah, but see, my thing is, I don't think there's going to be a slot receiver that'll fall low enough. If we want to do what we're $9 million negative in cap.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have to do some restructuring already.
You would have to definitely do some of that, yeah.
We're trying to pick up Daron Payne.
Yep.
And it looks like we're only going to sign him to a 1 or 2 year deal. Cam Jordan only has 2 years left on his.
Yeah.
D-Hop only has 2 years left. If like all of the people that we're talking to go for right now, and we actually get them all, dude, we have to win a Super Bowl in 2 years, or
yeah, you have a 2-year window essentially. Like,
so might as well give up this year's draft pick. We're gonna have to enter a rebuild phase.
Same thing the Saints did with the last 3 or 4 years of Breeze's career. Just throw everything at the wall and something better work type of thing.
I mean, honestly, when you have a really sturdy QB like that, you have to.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I don't know if we should be throwing all of this to Deshaun. But, like, every single game, he got better and better and better.
Yeah, I mean, next season at this point again, will determine, I guess, Deshaun's future type of thing.
Yeah.
Even though I know you guys signed him to, like, the 4-year extension or whatever. 5.
We have him for 4 more years now.
So, I mean, next year will pretty much determine, how things are going to work out for him. And, I mean, almost like the same thing with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton now.
Yeah.
Sean's there for an indefinite time until he wants to leave at this point.
Well, he had 1 year on his contract, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, he's there indefinitely. Russell Wilson, if anything, would be the guy who leaves before.
Yeah.
In my opinion, at this point. Because, I mean, you're a shell of your former self at this point.
Is he really, or did he just have a terrible team to play with? I mean, he had Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy.
Great wide receivers. Decent offensive line. Running backs are okay. I feel that's either Russell Wilson's just kind of done, or, I mean, Nathaniel Hackett offense is just horrible.
Well, I think that Russell Wilson was a fluke with Pete Carroll, honestly.
Yeah?
I mean, he was, what pick was he? He was like
Third round, I think.
Yeah, he was late in the draft, especially for a quarterback. Yeah, it was a fluke with Pete Carroll.
I'm going to say I think Russell Wilson was good. I just don't know what happened with this team. I mean,
think about the beginning of his career.
Absolute dog. Run around like it was backyard football and throws dimes.
Yes, but at the same time, look at the team he had.
He didn't have that good of wide receivers. He had Doug Baldwin.
No, I'm not talking about his receivers. He had the boom squad on defense.
Yeah.
And he had freaking Marshawn Lynch in his backfield.
Yeah,
Marshawn Lynch could freaking block Chris Jones for an hour.
If you feed him enough Skittles, that's the only way.
Skittles?
Yeah, bro, you've never seen him just munch it down on the Yeah, there you go.
You know what he does before every game?
What?
Takes 2 shots of Hennessy.
Big baller. That's
exactly, man. But I mean, yeah, I think Russell, he was put into a really good system. He had a good defense behind him. Best offense is a good defense.
Uh-huh.
And Pete Carroll is on the same level as Belichick in my mind in, like, schemes.
Yeah.
Like, he just figured out, oh, if I run the ball 6 times and then throw it really deep, someone's going to catch it. And it's either going to be the other team or we're going to score a touchdown.
And the thing is, I think Sean Payton's going to get the most out of him. Sean Payton's an offensive-minded coach. I mean, he got the most out of fucking Jameis famous goddamn Winston.
Okay, see, I liked Jameis Winston. I liked him.
You liked past tense. There.
Yeah. I thought he was going to do good on the Saints, and then I was like, shit.
I did too, and then Sean decided to say, yeah, peace out, y'all. But Derek Carr might be coming to the Saints.
Who do you think who's going to go to Oakland or Las Vegas then?
They might pick a quarterback. Fuck it.
They're like 15 in the draft, right?
They're like 7.
Are you kidding me?
Like 80%.
I need to just pull up the draft order. Fuck. Goo.
Gaggle.
Here we go.
Yeah, Vegas would be at 7, I think. Vegas is at 7. So, like, look, if we look at this top, probably, if we take a look at the top 7, you have, it would be Texans. I think the Texans are going to trade out of number 1. Everybody wants that number 1 spot.
Bears have the number 1
Oh,
spot.
that's what I'm, Bears. They're going to trade out of that spot. The only team I see trading up would be the Colts. Because they're the only team that's in the most desperate need for a quarterback. They'll trade like 2 firsts and a mid-round pick, and then they'll probably do like a pick swap or something.
Probably.
So, number 1, Will Levis goes to the Colts. 2 is going to be the Bryce Young to the Texans. 3 is going to be Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. Arizona's pick whoever they have higher on the draft board. Number 4 at this point, you're going to have the Bears. They're going to get the other person, Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. Done. Number 5.
Well, honestly, I could see Will Anderson falling to 4, and then them just trying to straight up trade him with Chicago for a quarterback. Because I could see Chicago taking a quarterback and holding him hostage for the first pick.
I mean, that's something they could do. I mean, but how many times has that been done in the NFL? Not a lot, and I don't know how that would play out.
Who was it?
You mean the Eli Manning, Phillips Rivers trade where Eli was like, I'm not going to play for them?
No, it was sooner. Justin Herbert had a switch with someone.
Did he?
Yeah. I think no. Trey and Tua switched. Oh, no, never mind. I'm thinking about the NBA draft. Never mind. I was thinking about the Luka Trey switch.
Oh. Yeah, no, the NBA, they will hold player hostage.
Yeah, I was thinking NBA draft for a second. Jesus, I've been doing too much research today.
Yeah, that's not a very NFL thing to do. And so then at 5 is an interesting spot.
Because they could go with Geno for another year.
They can. I don't think they're going to go quarterback.
I don't think they are either.
If we'll be honest, I think they're going to go the edge out of Texas.
You know, hold on. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with some draft stuff. Alright, so welcome to the final part of our show. We're going to dig into a little bit of the draft real quick. So, I'm going to pull up my draft. Here we go. You wanted to go at it pick by pick and we'll alternate? Because I'm just going to read off of what this draft did.
I can go off of what I'm going to say, so yeah.
You're doing your wild ones right now,
I'm going
right?
to do a semi-wild one right here.
Okay.
First, Bears trade back out of the first spot, trade to the Colts. It's going to be a fairly similar trade that we've seen in recent years. Probably 2 first-rounders, a second and third, and probably a pick swap, something like that goes to Chicago.
Like what we did for Baker.
Essentially, or what the Niners did for Trey Lance. Any of those going to be similar trades. First overall pick, now in the Colts' hand, I believe is going to go to Will Levis out of Kentucky. I just heard a lot. The connections, owner, staff really likes Will Levis. He has those big traits that you're looking for in a quarterback. Just doesn't have the production and just doesn't really have
He doesn't have the weapons at Kentucky though.
He didn't, but it's just 2 years in a row, 2,500 passing yards, if that. Horrible turnover to touchdown ratio. I'm just
Dude, we need to tell Kyler Murray that his touchdown to interception ratios is KDR.
I think he knows that. I don't think he cares.
He's like, it's not double XP weekend. This isn't the playoffs.
But yeah, Will Levis, number 1.
So, I have not kept up with college football very well this year. I know some of these players. Like a lot of the bigger names I'm very familiar with. But for the first pick, I have Jalen Carter from Georgia going to the Bears.
That would be a good pick, but like I said, I feel like Jalen Carter or Will Anderson can fall back because you do have quarterback needy teams.
Honestly, man, my thought is Will Anderson's going first overall. He's that good.
He's that good.
And I guarantee you he's going to translate.
Yeah, but you can get him I would say you could trade a 3, but Cardinals don't need a quarterback. The Bears do hold all the power. If they go with Jalen Carter, I don't think anybody's going to fault them for it.
No.
But they have a lot of needs.
Well, they did just get rid of Khalil Mack.
Still, you're bad. Acquire as many picks as you can in the first year or two and build from there. Because next year, if Justin Fields doesn't work out, next year's quarterback class, way better. With C.J. Williams, Spencer Rattler, Jaden Daniels.
I really like
UNC
C.J.
quarterback.
Williams.
All those guys I feel
And
we're gonna be a lot
Rattler
better.
is like, I think Rattler could challenge Mahomes, but at the same time, he's kind of an idiot and he's kind of full of himself.
If Rattler went if he was draft eligible last year, no doubt he would have been probably a number 2 pick.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But he stayed. So
I think he should have gone last
we'll
year.
we'll see what happens with Rattler in the QB class in the next year.
So who do you got going second pick?
Second is more of a toss-up because, I mean, the Texans have their choice at quarterback, C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. Bryce Young, the more pro-ready quarterback, and that's who I'm going to go with, would be Bryce Young out of Alabama.
That's what I have, too. I mean, I could see them taking C.J. Stroud. I could see them trading that pick away and going deeper in the draft, but their need for a QB is too high. And looking at like the QBs available, what they could get, Derek Carr.
Yeah, I mean,
But I think he's going to the Saints.
I do have a feeling that he might come to the Saints off of like a trade, or not a trade, but just straight up sign him, and that would put a very big wrench into this mock draft. But when we get to that point, we get to that point on that.
Yeah. But I think Bryce Young, he's a solid player. He'll be able to translate well. I just think that he's not going... Like, he might have a couple good seasons. Like, his first year, I don't think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be good, solid, and they're going to stick with him. But after 2-3 seasons, I think he's going to be more like a Baker Mayfield. Where, like, he could play really good and turn a team around, or he could just be...
Bad.
Dog shit afterwards.
Like I said, he's pro ready in my opinion. He shows a lot of stuff we want. The things that's scaring the scouts away, his smaller frame. I mean, I think right now he's posted at 5'10.5", 5'11", 190. That doesn't scare me. Quarterbacks are protected now in this league.
He's tiny though.
He's tiny, but
he's like Kyler Murray size.
yeah. But I mean, look, he played in the SEC. He held up pretty good. He had a few little injuries, but did nothing that kept him out more than like a week or two. Bryce Young, sticking with him. He's going to be not the next great quarterback, but he will be a good quarterback in this league.
Yeah, I just think he'll fall off real hard, real sharp. I mean, it's also, if he goes to the Texans, they're not going to surround him with the proper weapons to go anywhere.
Yeah, but you got to protect him first. So I mean, next year or two is going to be the big deal because the Texans also have a lot of cap.
They do have a lot of cap. They could sign a lot.
They can do that, yeah.
Moving on to your third pick.
With Jalen... Oh, let's see. We had Jalen Carter go number... No, actually, they're both open still. So, at number 3, Will Anderson would go number 3. Gives the Cardinals an edge threat that they just lost as J.J. Watt retired. I mean, kind of pair up that defensive line with somebody you're going to have to worry about off the edge.
Yeah, and I mean, they have, Justin Simmons over there. What's their other defensive younger guy?
On the back end or like D-line?
I think it's back end.
Let's see.
I think his name is Isaiah something.
Isaiah Simmons. That's going to be their linebacker.
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of someone else. Never mind.
But I mean, because you got J.J. Watt who left. I mean, Zach Allen's not a great edge defender, but I mean, he's better than a lot of people you're going to be able to get. And then, I mean, Will Anderson replaces him, and then I mean, you'll have a decent linebacker course with Xavier Collins and Isaiah Simmons and an edge threat. That would be the most optimal thing for the
They got
Cardinals
Buda
to do.
Baker. I mean, he's kind of falling off, though.
He's been dealing with lots of injuries. I mean, and safety is not a very valuable position to draft. And, I mean, corners, I mean, they held up, but, I mean, you got to replace J.J. Watt. That's your biggest...
Yeah, you have zero D-line, it looks like, right now. As I'm just, going over this very, very briefly, it looks like they have next to no D-line. And Yeah, I would see them taking Will Anderson. That's where I actually have it in my pick as well. If Jalen Carter doesn't go first, I see them going for him instead. Getting someone in the middle to disrupt it because
that could work.
They got ran up the gut this year.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Carter provides that pass rush, and he's an inside-outside guy.
Exactly.
If you want to have a more like a pass rush style, like third down, you can always throw him back inside, or if you're like a run down, you can throw him outside and have a bigger like defensive line. So either pick, you can't go wrong, but Will Anderson would be my pick at number 3 with the Cardinals.
Yeah, the same for me. So you have the Bears and the Colts switching.
Yes, I do.
So for your 4th pick, who do you have the Bears taking?
Jalen Carter.
You have him taking him at number 4?
Yeah, finally coming off the board at 4. The best player available at this point. You still get the player that they probably want at 4, and you got draft capital. You can't ask for much more.
Well, if the Colts trade up, we know that they're going to go for Young or Levis.
Yeah, I would say Levis, but yeah.
If they go for Young, then I highly doubt that the Texans will take.
They'll take Stroud.
Yeah, they'll take Stroud. They won't take Levis.
Like I said, Levis just doesn't look like a good quarterback prospect.
All right, so you have Carter there, and that's where I have C.J. Stroud going to the Colts, though.
Yeah.
I think the Colts don't actually try to trade up. I think the Colts are actually going to try to like be really, really shit this year. I think they're going to pull the Browns. They're going to purposefully try to get the first-round draft pick. I think they're going to let Matty Ice play again. And I think they'll let C.J. Stroud, like, look at him and, like, they'll pull an Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, like Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers thing, and have C.J. Stroud under him for a year or two, and then give C.J. the reins after they purposefully plummet.
Or you just get yourself an offensive tackle or a bigger position need and wait until next year's quarterback class when you're absolute dog water. Because next year's quarterback class so much better.
Well, if you protect Matty Ice, who knows? You might actually be kind of.
He's going to be 38 years old.
Shut up. Let me be. Okay, how old was Tom Brady? How old is Aaron Rodgers? You literally made that point earlier. You can't call him old.
But look, Matt Ryan.
Brady was 44.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's 38, and he hasn't played good football in, 3 years? 4 years?
Has it really been that long?
Close, yeah. I mean, his last real good year was 2017 after his Super Bowl.
No. What was his last good year? He did good in 2018.
Yeah, but I mean,
2020, he threw for 4,500 yards, 26 tutties.
In the NFC South, when he still had fucking the gambling Calvin Ridley and everybody.
Okay, but Calvin Ridley was really old at that part.
He was 26. You're thinking Julio.
Oh, I was thinking, Julio.
Julio's on the Bucks, man.
Oh, yeah, God. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Julio being on the Bucks?
Hey, chase that ring, buddy. That's all I gotta say.
All right, so yeah, I have C.J. Stroud going at 4 to the Colts. I don't see the Colts trading up. I see the Colts trying to be dog shit this year. Honestly, bro. Who do you got at number 5, man?
5? I would honestly go with the player Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech.
Athletic rusher?
Yep, absolute athletic freak. He has the bend, the explosiveness you're looking for. Just gotta get that little pass rushing plan and repertoire up a little bit. And I see him being an excellent player.
So I have Miles Murphy, another edge rusher out of Clemson.
It's kind of who pick your poison on the edge rushers.
Yeah.
One's a little more of a raw athletic freak. Miles Murphy's a little more of a proven player.
Miles Murphy has shown exactly what he can do, and Tyree Wilson is one of those guys where Texas Tech develops really good defensive
ends. The thing is, I don't like Texas Tech. I have a very
So you don't like Garrett, do you?
No, not really. I actually have a hatred towards most Texas schools.
Well, yeah, you're an LSU fan.
That, but also, the Saints drafted 2 different Texas defensive ends. Well, one from University of Texas El Paso or whatever, and Houston? Some Texas schools. Marcus Davenport and Peyton Turner. Both of them. Marcus Davenport's injury-riddled, but he's a decent pass rusher. But Peyton Turner, Jesus Christ, just blow my brains out.
Yeah, Peyton Turner was trash. Davenport I didn't think was that bad.
But he's just injury-prone. Like, if
Yeah,
you can't
very.
stay on the field, I can't justify having you.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, so who do you have for 6? Because mine is very similar. I have it flip-flopped.
Yeah, I think 6th, I mean, the lines might go offensive line at this point. Get real nasty up front because their head coach, former linebackers coach for the Saints and stuff, he's that guy who wants a nasty front on both sides. So defensive line or offensive line, but like Paris Johnson Jr. or
Paris Johnson Jr.
or
is a
Peter
freak.
Skowronski. Either one of those guys, add another
Isn't
tackle.
Paris Johnson out of Ohio State? Yeah, he's a beast.
I would have one of those guys, but I'll go Paris Johnson. I mean, just beef up that offensive line. Give Jared Goff another year to play. I mean,
Jared Goff is not a bad quarterback.
especially, I mean, this year, I mean, if you get the right system, he's more of a system quarterback. But
He is definitely. He's like a Kirk Cousins.
yeah, but you mean give him protection, give him some weapons. I'm gonna say build the offensive line. Paris Johnson at number 6.
With system quarterbacks, I think if you don't have a good offensive line, you're fucked.
Yeah,
But
because I mean they have Penny Sewell at left tackle right now. Throw Paris right tackle. I mean, he's a combination of
there's talks that they're trying to get Jack Conklin from us.
yeah. There's no reason to really trade for him. I mean, just you have the draft. No tackles are going to be taken off the board yet. So, take a tackle, beef up that offensive line. And I mean, their mid-first round pick, another one, can always get a defensive lineman there.
Yeah.
So, Paris Johnson, athletic freak. Has some technical issues, but I feel like once you're in the league, he'll strain those issues out.
So at my 6, I have Tyree Wilson. I think the Lions go with a defensive end, trying to get someone quick in there that, like you said, just athletic freak.
Yeah.
And someone that they can train and tame to their system. I mean, that's exactly what we did with Myles Garrett.
For sure.
He was good in college, but at the same time, we made him a pass rusher.
Yeah.
So I think they might try to do something with that. And like I said, with the Texas Tech defensive ends, I think it'll turn out great. And I think that the Lions, I don't think they'll pass him up if he's still there.
Yeah.
But who do you have at number 7? Because you're going to hate my number 7.
At number 7, that's a bit of a tricky thing because, I mean, I still have C.J. Stroud on the board at this point in the draft.
Do you still have Will up there? Or did...
Will...
No, you took them with Colson
I
first.
took him, yep, and then we had Bryce Young number 2, and I mean...
He's gone.
I feel like the Raiders want to stick with Jarrett Stidham because that's a Josh McDaniels guy from New England. And he played good the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, he did.
He's almost like a Brock Purdy almost. Like
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, just hand him the keys and say, hey, you did good, bud. Let's see what you do next year. But this is where I would have Miles Murphy going. Out of Clemson, I would have him going to the Raiders. Can't ever have enough defensive linemen. I mean, let him just get after quarterback. I mean, they have Max Crosby, right? Max Crosby off of one side, I believe.
Yeah, I think they already have someone on the other side. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they already have someone opposite of him. Oh, Pharrell. He's not very good, though.
He's okay. I mean,
He's not very good.
Put him in as a rotational player. Cause, I mean, the Clemson boys, let them play together.
Yeah, the Clemson boys. I mean, but Max Crosby, he's so dominant.
He's a very good, not great, but a good pass rusher that you do have to keep in mind.
I wish they had sent Khalil Mack back to Las Vegas.
That would be nasty, but
never gonna happen. Yeah. All right, so you have Brian Brees going at 7, right?
Yeah.
That's
not Miles Murphy at 7.
Oh, you had Miles Murphy?
Yeah, I haven't had him taken off the board.
Oh,
yet.
Yeah, you took Tyree Wilson.
Yep, and then I went offensive tackle.
Yeah. Oh, no, I thought you took Brian Brees.
I took Miles Murphy.
Oh, Miles Murphy. Okay. Yeah, I have Will Levis falling to, I always want to say Oakland, damn it. I have Miles
the Vegas
Murphy.
Boys.
Stupid fucks.
I mean, it could happen. I don't necessarily see the Raiders wanting to go with quarterback. Like I said, Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, but what did Stidham do in New England?
Nothing, because he didn't have a chance to do anything.
He did. He had a couple.
Did he?
When Brady had his concussions.
But still, Josh McDaniels, he's going to go with the guy he knows, unless he sees something he really likes. And Will Levis is not something I really like.
Will Levis is something that I don't really like either. But people are talking about Will Levis. And if he falls, you don't think the Raiders will take him?
They might take him if he falls. But, I mean, even in my draft, I have C.J. Stroud possibly being there for the Raiders. They get the choice of what they get.
All right, here's my draft hot take. You ready?
Yeah.
You got your crazy hot takes. My crazy draft hot take. Will Levis falls off the first round.
Oh, shit. I don't see that.
Will Levis does not get drafted in the first round.
Yeah?
Yeah. Maybe mid-second round. Maybe.
Disagree. As much as I have like a second or third round grade on him, quarterbacks get taken
quick.
Yeah, so I disagree with that, but hey, that's what a hot take is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, what I see out of Will Levis is not. I can't find the freaking words. He's inconsistent.
Yeah, he's very inconsistent.
He's in that doesn't translate well to the NFL ever. Like,
yeah,
I've said his name like 4 times on this podcast. Baker Mayfield, inconsistent. Why'd you draft him? Like, yeah, you can have him good, but I just don't think Will Levis should be in the talks to be a top quarterback. Can't he redshirt and play another year?
I don't think he can, actually.
Oh.
I feel like I think he might have another year of eligibility, but I mean, why would you do that when this quarterback class is weak? It's a very top heavy class,
yeah.
And next year you're going into a class that I could honestly say right now 6 or 7 quarterbacks might go in the first round type of deal.
This year?
Next year.
Oh,
that's how good I think next year's draft class, quarterback wise, is. You'll probably have a bunch of guys go.
Yeah, fair enough. Wait, what? Oh, yo, Philly has 2 top first round
Philly
picks.
has the Saints pick at 10.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Holy crap!
They some weapons that they can
So, let's get to your number 8.
That would be Atlanta.
Yes.
Atlanta at number 8 is a particularly weird spot. Because are they sold on Desmond Ridder at quarterback? I don't know.
He's not good.
But you have C.J. Stroud here at 8. You have C.J. Stroud. Hear me out. C.J. Stroud, that's going to be a big take. C.J. Stroud to number 8 to Atlanta.
Didn't they just draft Ridder last year?
In like the second or third round.
Yeah, but do they like him?
That's the issue. Did he show enough?
No, neither of them showed enough. The Falcons were dog.
So look, you have a guy who has a very low floor, but it can be a high ceiling. Like, he's going to be a very, very bad backup, or he's going to be an excellent quarterback that you have to worry about.
Who, Ridder?
No, C.J. Stroud, yeah. So I would have Stroud going to the Falcons at 8.
All right, I have Brian Brees go into the Falcons at 8.
I would say that's not a bad pick, but his injury history scaring off a lot of teams.
I see his injury history is the only thing that's hindering him. And honestly, if we don't trade away our second round pick, and that's what like is hindering people from taking him, I hope we snatch him up.
Because I could see him falling mid first, late first. Because I mean, Philly might take him because
they're losing.
Javon Hargrave.
I think I thought they were losing Reddick, and Hargrave has one more year. One of them has another year.
I think
one of
Reddick
them
has another year. I think Hargrave's like the guy that they're losing at D tackle.
They're losing one of them.
Brian Breeze replaces that. He can push the pocket. He's a good run defender. Just that injury history is sketchy.
Yeah, it's a little sus.
Yeah.
So, who do you have going for number 9?
Funny enough, Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, that's what I got. Sam Darnold's dog shit. Trash. Throw him away. PJ Walker didn't deserve to be in the NFL. I liked him in the XFL. I thought he looked good. Yeah. He should have stayed there another couple of years before he tried to make the transfer.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make that transfer, but I mean, Anthony Richardson, all the traits. Lamar Jackson, not elusive Lamar Jackson, but a very like powerful runner.
Yeah, he picks up speed fast.
That and like he's not afraid of contact. Lamar's more that I'm gonna make you miss me. Anthony Richardson's like, yeah, you can hit me a little bit. And he has a cannon of an arm. He showed a lot of progression from week 1 of the college football season to the very end. He even showed good understanding and learning from one quarter to another quarter, learning what the defense is doing, what he needs to correct. He shows a lot of potential. In my eyes, he's the biggest boomer bust because he could be an amazing quarterback that we have to worry about for the next 15, 20 years, or he's going to be a guy we forget about in 3 or 4 years type of thing.
He might be a guy you forget about by the end of the season.
He might even be that. I mean, he has...
but I think it's more likely to be Will Levis. That's the guy that's, like I said, Bryce Young. My bad, Bryce Young. He's going to be the guy that walks in there, is good for a couple of years, and then falls off.
I mean, possibility, but I mean, I see that being more of like a Will Levis thing. He might be like, oh, wow, he's doing pretty good for a rookie, and then just tank.
I could totally see that.
If I had my choice as a quarterback, he's my 3rd overall quarterback. Will Levis would be 4th. So, right here, great value for the Panthers. I would hate for them to actually get him, but it'd be a great pick for them.
Yeah. So, let's wrap this up with our final picks. Let's do 10. Who do you got going? Who do you have Philly taking since they're probably going to win the Super Bowl and then they're going to have a top 10 pick?
Philly's probably going to go either defensive or offensive line because I think they have... Who's their offensive tackle? Because I feel like their offensive tackles are pretty old at this point.
Probably. I mean, I literally have them pulled up right here.
Because you have Lane Johnson and who's opposite of Lane? Jordan Malter. So they really don't need offensive tackles.
No, not at all.
Their offensive line's really dominant, and the only place you could really upgrade would be interior offensive line for the Eagles. And this year's
you're going to draft a center?
Oh, no. This interior offensive line class is bad. You have Osiris Terrence out of Florida. He's the only really good guard, and he's a late 1st, early 2nd rounder. And then you have John Michael Schmitz out of, I think, Minnesota at center. He's a plug-and-play center. Whoever gets him is going to be a lucky person to have. But I would say they're probably going to go defensive line at this point, being that's just a Howie Roseman thing to do.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, do you have Brian Brees off the board yet?
I don't. Brian Brees might be the move here, as your top edge rushers are off the board, and Tyree Wilson, Miles Murphy, all those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Brees would be the guy I would have to go with. I mean, he replaces Javon Hargraves. You got Fletcher Cox, who's getting a little older.
Yeah.
You'll get that new vigor and pass rush. So, Brian Brees, yeah, that would be my number 10 pick.
Who did you say they have playing left tackle?
what's this dude's name? Jordan Malta.
He's not showing up on their roster anymore.
I got it off of ESPN, so.
Oh yeah, that's outdated. ESPN's not up to date. They still have certain players like on the wrong teams.
I feel like he's.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. Now I see him.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, offensive tackle. I mean, Lane Johnson is getting up there in age, but you can always. He's 32.
But you also just got Jalen Hurts 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean,
he's on his rookie contract. So after this season, they'll re-sign him.
Yeah, I mean the Eagles can get offensive tackle end of the first round. You'll probably still have Cody Mauch out of North Dakota State.
Yeah.
And you have the Oklahoma offensive tackle. One of those guys are probably going to be in the very end of the first. Pick one of them up, but get yourself that defensive tackle who can just rush.
We'll see. I have Brian Brees going early. I also have Miles Murphy, Tyree Wilson, Will Anderson. I have all of them going almost top 5.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I think they go with Paris Johnson Jr., which I love, and I want him. Give him to me, because fuck Jedrick Wills. He's not good. He's a lazy little bitch.
See, I probably have Paris Johnson. But I guess I already have him traded or picked to the Lions.
Yeah.
If we're looking at offensive tackle, Peter Skoronski would be my pick at that point.
Yeah.
He's very technical. Not the biggest, baddest guy. He's not going to, push you off the line all the time. But he's technically sound as a rookie at this point.
All right, you guys want to hear my second hot take in this draft?
Yeah, hit me with it.
I think that they should try to draft someone for running back or halfback.
The Eagles?
Yep.
What crack are you smoking?
I told you it's a hot take. I have to be smoking something.
God, bro.
Think about it.
You want to hear something then?
What?
If we're going to get really hot, the Cowboys take Bijan Robinson, the Texas running back,
Yeah.
to replace Ezekiel Elliott.
I would. Get Ezekiel out of there. You're paying him way too much for what he's doing.
Jerry
Tony
Jones
Pollard
gets himself, the Texas boy, to stay in Texas. That's Jerry Jones'
That sounds
wet
exactly.
dream. That's a wet dream for Jerry
Give
Jones.
me Zeke then. Give me Zeke.
Have Zeke, because Tony Pollard's a free agent this year.
Wait, Tony's a free agent?
Yeah. Completely fucked his knee up in the playoff game and is heading into free agency.
So he's not going to get signed then.
Oh, yeah, the Cowboys aren't going to sign him. I mean, he's a good change of pace back, but I don't know if he's.
That was the only reason they had success with their run was because they just gave him a little extra snaps.
Yeah, because I mean, in the Cowboys' offense, Zeke is way too slow. He's like, hey, you need a yard? I might get it for you because I'm fucking 270 pounds at running back now. I can't run that far.
Is he really that big now?
I feel like he's probably 230, 240. Like,
he is a big boy.
Yeah, because that first year he came in the league at 220, and he's just like, I'm too good, and now I'm just fucking chomping food away after I make.
I mean, Chubb's 215.
Yeah, but he's fast.
Fuck.
Zeke is slow.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see them taking Dutchman, whatever his last name is. I don't even know how to say his name properly.
Yeah.
But I see them taking him and out of Texas and just keeping him there. I could see that happening. But I don't think I still think the Philadelphia Eagles need to take a running back. They need someone strong back there. They have Miles Sanders. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
No, they have Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott.
Fuck Boston Scott.
You know, I agree with that. Fuck him. Fuck you. Especially when you were saying, now you're going to win a goddamn Super Bowl. Bitch. God.
Someone's salty.
I hate Boston Scott just cuz now.
Well, I think that wraps up for most of our show. We definitely have some more content coming out for this. You want to tell them about the stuff you're working on?
Right now I'm working on that full mock draft. It's going to be an article with a little more description on a couple of these guys I'm pretty high on. And after I get a little more tape review done on the Senior Bowl, I might come out with some winners and losers of the Senior Bowl right now. But after that, we're going to find out. Might get a Super Bowl review too.
Ooh, Super Bowl review.
Yeah.
Like podcast?
Might be podcast, or you might just... I might fucking record myself and let y'all watch my reactions to the whole Super Bowl.
Oh God!
We'll find out. When
If
I
you
get
do
to
that,
it.
I'll put it up. I'll live stream it.
Yeah, I mean, I might do that if I'm going to be completely honest, because you will see the hate I have for the Chiefs and the Eagles.
You can just come over here. We'll just live stream and rage.
I'll do that. Don't. Please, no. I have the day off. I'm going to be ready to
Oh,
fucking.
I am not working that day or Monday.
Yeah, you're going to see me get pissed.
But as for me on this side of the locker room, I'll be writing some articles, mainly just talking about the Browns because I don't keep up with college football like Nate does. I'll talk about some other free agency moves and some off-season stuff, but I'll mostly focus on the Browns. I'm in talks on bringing someone on to focus on the Panthers. I know Nate loves that.
Raw pussies. That's all.
But we do have more content coming out for you within the next couple of days. If you guys want to go ahead, check out our website at D Double Down Network. You guys can find all the other podcasts that we have up, ranging from movies to comics to conspiracy theories. Pretty much all the fun stuff that you can think of, you can find it there. You want to plug anything else?
Nah, I'm good. I ain't got nothing for y'all to plug right now.
Alright, we will catch you later.